Welcome to True Report Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown spoilers and your WWE main event. Today would have been the 53rd birthday of John Tenta, also known as Earthquake. WWE recently applied the trademark to the names of Aiden English, Booker T, Daniel Brooke, Epico, Connor, Simon Gotch, and Victor. Well, some of those wrestlers have been in WWE for several years. Remember Booker T, five-time champion. Daniel Brooke, Epico, off and on, WWE star Connor, Simon Gotch, and Victor, new, somewhat. Partial source of the following news goes to the Wrestling Observer. According to sources, WWE knew ahead of time before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view even was done with about Roman Reigns' wellness policy violation. And that is obviously the real reason why the title was taken off of him. The WWE announced earlier on Tuesday that Reigns has been suspended for his first violation of the wellness policy. Also noted from the company knew before the pay-per-view, meaning that they knew Reigns was going to be suspended for 30 days before they announced the Battleground Triple Threat main event match on Raw from Monday night. And that news about Earthquake's 53rd birthday should have been Tuesday as well. There are 33 days until Battleground, meaning that Reigns will be off suspension by the time comes around and could still compete in the World Heavyweight Championship match against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Reigns will miss the WWE draft on July 19th. The company had the option to run some sort of suspension angle on Monday night to write him off of TV, but chose not to for unknown reasons. As of this video, Reigns will also miss episodes of Raw and SmackDown before Battleground due to the suspension. At this point, considering that they announced the match after they knew about the violation, it appears that if the main event of Battleground will go forward as announced, but it possibly could be a fatal four-way now. Due to the SmackDown spoilers, you'll see why. As you'd imagine, there are some people rolling their eyes about the suspension and booking, with some saying that Roman is Vince McMahon's teacher's pet, and it sets a double standard for some of the lower and mid-card talents. One source said, if it was anyone else besides Cena and maybe Seth, do you think it would have gone like that? During the taping of WWE Superstars, WWE accidentally played the John Laurinaitis Titantron video, which tipped off the fans at his Raw appearance. There was some reports going around Tuesday saying that the original plan for the WWE Women's Tag match at Money in the Bank was to have Becky Lynch turn on Natalya. At this time, there was no word on why plans changed. But speculation also going around. The reports noted that there's been a lot of speculation that Natalya may leave the company when her current WWE contract expires. This is due to Tyson Kidd being unable to return to the ring. In an update on this, Natalya took to Twitter to deny any type of reports on her not returning, saying that they are total false. Video of Paige being detailed by police can be seen at this link from after the Money in Bank pay-per-view in Las Vegas. Some have come online, and you can see the video, which shows Paige being led away in an ambulance, not a police car. As was previously reported, no charges were filed in the incident, and she left the hospital after initially being taken there. WWE is still investigating what was going on. While he was present at the incident, rumors and speculation that Alberto Del Rio, who is dating Paige in real life, was also involved in a domestic incident that led to authorities getting involved are completely false. Paige competed at Raw on Monday night and is backstage at SmackDown tapings. The president of WWE's international division has left the company. Garrett Meyer, who joined the company in March of 2013, has left. Meyer was responsible for expanding the company's international TV distribution agreements and managing the continued advancement of WWE's international licensing, live events, digital, and publishing operations. Before working for WWE, he had been the global general manager for distribution and partnerships at Spotify. It's not currently known if WWE will hire a new person for the position or restructure things. To those who reported to Meyer will report to already existing companies. Randy Orton, who has been out of action from WWE since undergoing shoulder surgery last February, is currently being advertised for WWE live events in August. The belief is that with Orton being advertised for WWE live events in August, he will be back in time for the SummerSlam pay-per-view. Kurt Angle appeared on Mark Madden's radio show, 105.9 on the X, on Monday, and spoke about his current wrestling status. Angle reportedly told Madden that he is definitely coming back. It's just a matter of when. He also claimed that he spoke with Triple H about 6 weeks ago regarding a potential WWE return. As noted, Angle was recently contacted, along with several other past superstars, no names have been mentioned, about returning to WWE for their draft, which goes down on the live edition of WWE SmackDown on Tuesday, July 19th. And it wasn't JTG who recently said, well, he hasn't been contacted. Go figure. WWE NXT superstars will be working Sunday's WWE main roster live event in Orlando, as Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor will face in tag team action Austin Aries and NXT champion Samoa Joe. Joe's gonna kill you. As this is their call-up, Hall of Famer Jerry Lawler and fiance Lauren McBride appeared in court on Monday following their arrest for a domestic violence incident last week. If you didn't know, sorry about your damn luck, because you missed on the news that Jerry Lawler has been indefinitely suspended. And just for this week's episode of SmackDown, Jerry Lawler's replacement was David Otunga, who also appeared for announcing on the main event as well. Judge William Turner ordered the two to avoid contact with each other while the trial is ongoing, something that McBride's attorney, Mark Messler, pointed out is commonplace in a case like this, as Lawler even tossed her a blank gun and told her to shoot herself. Those are standard bail conditions in a domestic violence case. No contact, no commuting, no text, no phone calls. Lawler declined to comment on the case. The two are due back in court on July 1st. Speaking of Otunga, he filled in for Jerry Lawler on the SmackDown, announcing as Lawler has been suspended due to the weekend domestic incident with his fiance. Mauro Ranallo and Byron Saxton also handled SmackDown commentary this week with a guest spot by WWE World Heavyweight Champion Dean Ambrose. As WWE take the following matches for this week's main event episode, which saw commentary done by Dolph Ziggler and David Otunga. Well, that's for main event tapings. First report, Enzo Amore and Big Cass defeated the Ascension. Enzo got the pinfall victory after hitting the rocket launcher. Baron Corbin defeated Sin Cara. Becky Lynch defeated Summer Rae. Zack Ryder, woo woo woo, you know it, defeated Rusev, which is a non-title match. Dolph Ziggler was at ringside talking to Lana, leading to Rusev getting distraction and got the loss. Second report, thanks to Brandon Raymond, who sent the news in from Tucson, Arizona. Dark match, R-Truth and Goldust defeated Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Well, this feud's been going on for like 2 months. Goldust pinned Breeze following in the final cut. Main event, Enzo Amore and Big Cass defeated the Ascension. Enzo and Cass won with a rocket launcher. Baron Corbin defeated Sin Cara. Rusev defeated Zack Ryder. Rusev with his commission, won by submission with the accolade. Different reports. Dolph Ziggler was out for commentary. Thanks to on Twitter at Green Sheet and at Mini_Ponce for the following main event spoilers from tonight's tapings in Tucson, Arizona. Enzo and Big Cass defeated the Ascension with the rocket launcher. Baron Corbin defeated Sin Cara. Becky Lynch defeated Summer Rae. Zack Ryder defeated U.S. Champion Rusev in a non-title match. Dolph Ziggler was talking to Lana, leading to Rusev getting distracted for the win. And this is why I give you more than one, more than two sometimes if they're posted. results for spoilers, because somebody may be wrong. So you got two saying one thing and one saying different. Well, very similar to what happened with the SmackDown postings, as one was on Twitter, and his tweets of the actual event was removed, but he wasn't forced to take the pictures off, which I'll show you in probably this segment. SmackDown, I'll show you a picture of what he did right there for you. Seth Rollins kicked off the show with a promo about how he was robbed of the World Heavyweight title. Dean Ambrose interrupted, and then Chris Jericho also interrupted. Rollins got mad and attacked both men, and we have Jericho versus Ambrose in a non-title main event match for SmackDown. Sami Zayn and Apollo Crews defeated Sheamus and Kevin Owens. Zayn hit the hell of a kick on Sheamus for the win. Owens attacked Sami after the match. Backstage. Alberto Del Rio versus Cesaro. That's all that was said before everything was taken off, even the website. I'll give you a link of some of the actual pictures as well. As there was a picture of Alberto Del Rio and Cesaro, but nothing more than that. Second report, thanks to @GreenSheet and @Manny_Ponce for following SmackDown. Spoilers. Seth Rollins kicked off SmackDown, talking about how he was robbed of the World Heavyweight title and how hard it was to overcome his injury. Dean Ambrose interrupted, and then Chris Jericho interrupted. Jericho says he beat Ambrose 2 weeks ago and wants a title shot tonight. Rollins gets mad and attacks both men. Jericho versus Ambrose in a non-title match was announced for SmackDown. Well, unknown if Shane O'Mac was there, because he did announce that he was going to be on SmackDown. So we'll just have to wait for the TV portion of it. Sami Zayn and Apollo Crews defeated Sheamus and Kevin Owens with a hell of a kick on Sheamus. Owens attacked Sami backstage on the big screen. Sasha Banks defeated Dana Brooke by disqualification. When Charlotte got involved, Paige attacked Charlotte, leading to Sasha and Paige standing tall. Alberto Del Rio defeated Cesaro with a stomp in the corner. Del Rio looked to be fine, no injury. Another victim was Darren Young and Bob Backlund. W Tag Team Champions, The New Day, defeated Raw Villains. I should show you a picture of that as well. Their entrances, at least. After publicly roasting them in the bygone era. The Wyatt family attacked both teams after the match, setting a possible triple threat match for a pay-per-view. AJ Styles defeated Jimmy Uso with a calf crusher. More detailed in the next one. Titus O'Neil is interviewed backstage about getting a revenge on Rusev and taking the WWE US title. As well as what happened on Raw, was just a sample of what's to come. Natalya cut a heel promo, saying how tired she is of waiting, and now she's taking. Becky Lynch interrupts and talks about their 10-year friendship, but Natalya doesn't care. She leaves the ring and Becky attacks. Natalya retreats. And your main event of Chris Jericho defeating the World Heavyweight Champion Dean Ambrose in non-title action. Jericho got to roll up when Dean Ambrose was distracted by Seth Rollins, who was on commentary. Rollins attacked both men and stood tall to end SmackDown. Thanks, in the last report, thanks to reader, .NET reader Aaron Honeycutt, Seth Rollins opened up the show and the Battleground match with Roman Reigns and World Heavyweight Champion Dean Ambrose is on. Ambrose interrupted Rollins first, and then Sami Zayn. They all issue challenges, but Sami and Rollins is made for later on in the show. Cesaro defeated Alberto Del Rio. Sheamus defeated Apollo Crews by countout. The club confronted Usos backstage to set up a match, which was AJ defeating Jimmy Uso with a calf crusher. And I believe the club interfered at one point. Of course, the referee didn't see it. Whatever. Tag Team Champions, The New Day defeated the Raw Villains. Wyatt family confronted The New Day after the match. Becky Lynch defeated Dana Brooke by disqualification when the Women's Champion Charlotte interfered, and Sasha made the save. Seth Rollins defeated Sami Zayn with a pedigree in the main event. Ambrose was on commentary. The show ended with Rollins getting the upper hand on Ambrose. This is why I give you several different reports. Because the main event was supposed to be Ambrose versus Jericho. Well, more action there. Note the SmackDown spoilers were posted on Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. This is why I'm doing my video. I fell asleep trying to get all the results in, especially with that half of a result. And here's a proper spoiler report for this week, thanks to F4W Online. Seth Rollins opened up the show with a promo talking about the three-way match at Battleground. He railed about no one outworking him and how unfair it was that he did not have the belt. He issued an open challenge to anyone in the back for tonight's main event. Challenge accepted by Sami Zayn. At first, Rollins scoffed at Zayn, but then he decided that Zayn was the perfect choice. Both men were interrupted by the lunatic fringe as the new champion hit the ring. He called for the set people, and the workers rushed the ring to set up an impromptu Ambrose Asylum complete. And that's what the picture I'll give you of right there, with Mitch the Plant. I guess Mitch too. Rollins was angered, but Zayn was excited. Ambrose played the part of the host behind the scenes, asking if everyone was ready and if they needed anything like water. Rollins ad-libbed and said it was that he was parched before catching himself and telling Ambrose to shut up. Zayn goaded Rollins to fight immediately, and Rollins dropped the mic and left in a huff. All references to the title match at Battleground were for a three-way match, so the main event seems to be continuing with Reigns in it. None of the interviewers acknowledged anything about Reigns' suspension. Cesaro defeated Alberto Del Rio. Nothing more than that. Good hard-hitting match between the two. Del Rio started fast and went after Cesaro's arm. Cesaro sold the beating and eventually fought back with a string of uppercuts. Del Rio hit the backstabber and went for the Tree of Woe stomp, which Cesaro countered. Cesaro climbed up and jumped off the ropes, with Del Rio countered into an attempted cross arm breaker, which this was countered by Cesaro, who hit Del Rio with a pump handle slam and abruptly ended the match. Cesaro climbed onto the announcer's table and bowed to the crowd to a large pop. Different than the other results, Sheamus beat Apollo Crews by countout. Rematch for Money in the Bank with Sheamus all over Crews at the beginning, while the rookie looked timid. Eventually, Crews fought back, but did not hit many aerial spots other than a sunset flip off the ring apron. Sheamus pulled the steel steps into a vertical position and kicked Crews into them for the countout victory. Usos returned and did an angle backstage with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and AJ Styles, which set up the AJ Styles versus Jimmy Uso match. Jay was at ringside and played the role that Cena did on Monday, watching the back for the signs of the club. AJ seemingly had a counter for Jimmy's moves and mocked the Uso with a phenomenal gesture. When it looked like Jimmy finally had caught AJ and had him in trouble, the club came through the crowd to attack Jay. Jimmy jumped over the ropes and bowled the club over, only to eat a phenomenal forearm onto the concrete floor. AJ then rolled Jimmy back in the ring and hit another phenomenal forearm for the good measure and got the pinfall victory. Tag Team Champions New Day defeated the Evolved Villains. Hills worked over Kofi as Big E could only watch. And by the way, if you didn't know, the other tag team, Victor and Connor, they're back together as Connor's return. Xavier Woods took the night off and just played the trombone. The Hills worked together to isolate Kofi until he made a hot tag to Big E. Big E proceeded to suplex everyone many times, and the Hills could not even hide outside of the ring as Kofi stalked the outside and splashed anyone hanging around the outside of the ring. Big E with the pinfall. Celebration was cut short by a Wyatt family promo in which Bray promised to bring pain to the New Day, and they would fall. Dana Brooke defeated Becky Lynch. This was over in about a minute after Charlotte interfered, allowing Dana to take advantage and pin Becky. Charlotte entered the ring to add injury to an insult when Sasha Banks means a hit to a huge pop. Sasha sauntered down to the ring in her inimitable fashion and removed her bling, her gold, her necklace. Legit style. It looked like Charlotte was going to engage, but then she ducked out of the ring and laughed at Banks. Brooke tried to sneak attack, but was stopped by the bank statement. Seth Rollins pinned Sami Zayn with a pedigree. Rollins toyed with Zayn at first, slapping him, countering his moves, and resting on the turnbuckle while Zayn recuperated. Eventually, Zayn started hitting his spots. The two went back and forth in an entertaining match. Zayn took a powerbomb fling into the turnbuckle, but hit Rollins with an Undertaker-esque walk up the ropes into a Hurricanrana. Both men had their near falls. Rollins went for the pedigree, but Zayn reversed it into a tornado DDT. Rollins bailed from the ring from that, and Zayn did a flip over the ropes onto Rollins. Rollins staggered back inside the ring and surprised Zayn with a pedigree as Zayn re-entered the ring. Rollins gave Ambrose a cheap shot, and Ambrose chased him to the ring. Ambrose laid out the belt in the ring, motioning for Rollins to come back, but Rollins stayed at the top of the ramp. After the camera stopped rolling, suddenly AJ's music hit, and the club came out to the top of the ramp. AJ told Rollins that the club was planning on hurting Ambrose, and that he could join them if he, Rollins, wanted to. Rollins agreed, and the four heels headed to the ring. So this was after TV taping stopped. Zayn rolled back in the ring to help Ambrose, but they were quickly overwhelmed. The crowd was chanting for Cena, but it was the Usos for the save. The bases cleared, the heels out of the ring, and Ambrose grabbed the mic and challenged the heels to an 8-man tag team match. And I think I got a picture of that. But it's more like a kind of like a fatal four-way instead. The club was Seth Rollins versus WWE Champion Dean Ambrose, Sami Zayn, and the Usos. Match was quick with the heels isolating Jay on the outset. Hot tag to Ambrose brought the house down as each man entered the match and hit his spot that he was known for. Eventually, Anderson ate dirty deeds and was pinned. The faces stayed around and celebrated with the fans. Ambrose stayed around for at least 10 minutes, signing autographs, taking selfies with fans, and letting kids hold his championship belt. And that concludes my SmackDown spoilers and WWE main event spoilers as well. Thanks again. Peace out. See you all on our video. And if you don't know, just call me brothers and sisters.